Okay, I have a question for you because Billie Jean King, tennis icon,
Who we love.
icon, yeah, amazing. She has just been named the Master of Ceremonies of the Tournament of Roses. So the Pasadena Rose Parade that happens on New Year's Day every year. I grew up in Arcadia. I went to high school in Pasadena. I went out for the Rose Court. It's like something that all the high school girls here do. I went to the ball because you get tickets to the ball
Oh
when
my
you
God, there's a ball. Wow.
there's a ball. Sophia Bush was the queen, and she came from our high school, so it was like, oh yes, someone from our high school is the queen, and then she became Sophia Bush. Um, my question for you, because you're Canadian, but you did live in the Bay Area. Does anybody outside of this area care about the Tournament of Roses?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I assumed as much. There was this time we went to Ireland and we were in this town of Tralee and there was this festival going on and it was for the Rose of Tralee. It was like this pageant and everyone was like, this is like the biggest thing of the year. And our host was like, oh yeah, everyone in the diaspora, like the Irish diaspora is always like tuning in to watch this. And we're like, oh my God. Like, so we like watch it, we get invested in the girls. And then we go to the next town that we're going to, and we go to a pub, and the Rose of Tralee is not on the TVs. So we're like, why isn't the pageant on the TV? And the bartender's like, oh, nobody watches that.
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
that's
oh.
so good. Are you like, will you watch it?
Yeah, usually so my dad has a building that's on the parade route, and he used to be like, come to my building, people, but you can't really see because there's like a tree in front of the building. I prefer to watch it on TV because you can hear the commentators be like, this parade float was made from sesame seeds and poppy flowers, and it's like cool because they're all decorated with only natural ingredients.
Oh,
Like
this is so
herbals.
California. I love
It's
this.
it's really special. All right,
No, that
moving
is really
on.
cool. And also, yeah, 100% way better to watch parades on TV than in person. Like,
Yeah,
why?
agree. Because you could fast forward through like the boring shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of badass women, NHL coach Jessica Campbell.
Jessica Campbell. I have looked at her photo this week more than I've probably looked at my own daughter.
Can I just say she looks like the love child of Mary from Selling Sunset and Heather from Million Dollar Listing.
Oh my God.
She's
That
like
would be your combo.
she's like evocative of like the reality TV real estate royalty.
I
Because she's
just,
hot. She's fucking
she
gorgeous.
is hot. And this is why, like, I'm so terrified of her being sexualized.
I know. And I was also like, oh, wait, you mean there's going to be a woman back where all those men in suits are always standing? I like am very excited and she's got her own fucking awesome suits,
Got her
but
own suit. There's
it
a
was kind of
visual.
like,
Go for it.
yeah, I just don't know what people are going to be saying and thinking about that, you know?
I mean, don't read the comments, is
I
my
know, I know.
recommendation. There's a very powerful photo that got released of her, I think probably like reviewing a play and all the players surrounding her. And it's just like you see her blonde hair in the
Hmm.
center of all of these uniforms and athletes. And I got to be honest, like I got choked up a little bit because A, it reminded me how many times I watch pro sports and I just don't ever see another woman. And reminded me of why, of course, women don't always like to watch sports because like
It's just a meat fest.
where the fuck are
Yeah,
we? It's a meme
yeah.
fest. And then and it feels almost it feels actually dangerous, really, to be the
Hmm.
first woman who's in any space. The I will say the last lesson I'm taking from this is I should stop making fun of Saskatchewan, Canada, because
Is that where she's from?
that's where she's
Oh
from.
my God,
Yeah, and
amazing.
she's
Oh,
Canadian, so of
wow.
course I extra love it. But I listen, I talk shit a lot about Saskatchewan because like, why do you need to go there? But look what came out of it, so I probably need to stop.
Yeah, they've got a claim to fame. Okay, so speaking of the NHL, Igor Shesterkin, who's very, very important to us in this household because Daniel is a Rangers fan, and so by proxy, so am I. Uh, he's one of the best goalies in the league, and probably the only reason why the Rangers made it to the playoffs the last few times.
Correct, I agree.
He was offered a deal by the Rangers organization for 8 years at $88 million, and he turned it down. I just am like, how are you gonna do the Rangers dirty like that? It's like, I feel like hockey teams are all about the kind of cohesive morale, and I don't think that this sort of prima donna-ish decision is good for them.
I completely agree. Listen, do I think they'll get a contract with him? Yes, I do. I do think it's going to
Okay, that's
happen.
hopeful. Okay.
But I'm kind of fearful for what this means for the league after this contract. Like it's going to change the market. It's going to
Mm.
change, I think, the way that goalies might be perceiving themselves. I
Yep.
can't, I have to
They're turning
imagine
them into the pitchers of hockey,
this is
which is
it.
not, that's not how hockey works. Yeah.
It's never worked that way. And I got to think that this spills into the locker room,
Yeah, of course. Of course.
right? Like, what are the dynamics like? We know the dynamics off the ice are going to get back, are going to get onto the ice.
Yeah.
And I just hate when I would hate as an athlete when a storyline that has nothing to do with our team and how we're playing now is grabbing all the attention. I'm getting
Yep.
interviewed and at post-game interviews about it. Like it's just such a
Yeah.
distraction too.
Oh my God, those post-game interviews are always so cringe and awkward. But I think also, like, I don't know, with your goalie, there just needs to be so much like mutual trust and understanding and kind of that like intuitive vibing and second language stuff. And I feel like when you have something like this happen, unless, maybe a lot of the teammates are like, yeah, Igor, you're worth more. You should hold out. Like maybe that's happening in the locker room. But otherwise, I just feel like this compromises that cohesion for sure.
I completely agree. And I will admit that there's a layer to sports that I don't have a full grasp on, which is sports agency and the role of
Yeah.
agents.
Hmm.
And I don't know what his agent knows. I don't know what his relationship to his agent and who has the influence here. I,
Yeah.
I, I gotta think as an agent, you're like, take the fucking deal, bro.
Right. I mean,
But in the end, of
oof,
course, the athlete makes the decision. So I just wish I could be a fly on the wall and know what's going on behind the scees there.
I know. I know. It's
88
kind of sad.
million.
It's really sad. And like this was also the year or the season that Dan lost Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. Like that one hurt. That one really hurt. He went to Penn State. So it's just like, don't let us lose Igor, please. I don't want to lose him to fucking Boston or something.
I mean,
They
yeah.
already have a good goalie though, Boston, right?
Yeah, but fucking Boston. It's just always appropriate to say fucking Boston,
All
no
right, all
matter
right, very
what.
good. All right, so kind of sports adjacent. You and I were talking about I made you watch the Menendez Brothers show, the Ryan Murphy scripted show on Netflix. And like, yes, it's salacious. Yes, it's sensational and campy. It's Ryan Murphy. But what I loved about it so much was the 90s in LA of it. And that's why I wanted you to watch it.
I mean, I think I texted you 60 seconds into the first
Yes,
episode and I
it's the
was like,
first 60 seconds
oh
that
my
got me
God.
too.
The like limo and Millie Vanilli
Yes.
combo.
That whole scene and that conversation, and then just like the vibe of the whole rest of the season, like cheekily referencing these like 90s things, including OJ,
Including juice. Yes.
which was like a trial that happened in between this whole Menendez story. And like, when we talk about, I think I was talking about the Aaron Hernandez one, and I was like, was Aaron Hernandez the only NFL player that was ever tried for murder? And then Dan was like, OJ. And I
Uh,
was like, oh yeah. I mean, I was not a football fan at the time, so I didn't even know why OJ was OJ. I was just like, oh, this trial is fascinating. I didn't understand his kind of American sports hero identity until like now, way later.
you know, I would come home for lunch every single day and watch
Watch it. Yeah. I
that
know
trial.
my friend and I had clippings of every newspaper article and we like laid them out at recess.
Newspaper clipping. How old are you?
I
I'm just
know
kidding.
what was it the 1920s? And we would like go pour through them trying to like solve the crime. Oh, like five bangs on Kato Kalin's wall. Like,
That was really, I mean, listen, I was not that old. I was maybe 11 or 12, but
Like 10, yeah. Hmm.
but there was something very captivating about the fact that they televised that trial.
Yeah.
And it really was a gaggle of characters, like from like Marsha Clark to like it just,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
to Cato,
Yeah.
it felt like it was almost a scripted series
It
itself.
was the beginning of something for sure. Wait, but
Truly.
there was another crazy sports thing actually related to the Menendez stuff now, right?
Mhm.
Because they are, I think, I don't know, by virtue of the show, by virtue of Kim Kardashian, by virtue of their own appeals process, whatever it is, they might be getting a new trial. And so they're back in the cultural zeitgeist, not just because of the show, but there was a piece of evidence you saw.
Truly, the way it came into my life, this storyline was like Bay Area sports.
Okay.
And Mark Jackson, who used to be the coach before Steve Kerr for the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, okay.
And on Mark Jackson's, I believe it's his rookie card, you know, those, they always have a photo of them like mid shot, mid dribble, whatever it is. And in the background of Mark Jackson's card are the Menendez brothers courtside.
That is
And
kind of chilling.
part of why folks are trying to understand what date that photo was taken is, was this a part of their spending spree after
Oh,
they killed their parents?
mm-hmm. The courtside seats to the
Courts.
Laker game or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because they whatever spent 700,000 in a matter of days
Like 3 days. Yeah.
after killing their parents. And it's, listen, the Menendez Brothers series. I actually enjoyed it for the
Yeah.
entertainment that it was. It was good
Same. Mhm.
storytelling. Understanding that there were for sure probably facts that were stretched and just some things that were exaggerated. That being said, the idea that what's going on in pop culture intersecting with sports
Mm-hmm.
constantly grabs my attention. But in particular, this one, because people now who didn't give a shit about the Menendez brothers or about that series are now seeing this Mark Jackson card being like, yo, what's up with those two dudes? And like,
They're
what's the
just
story
sitting there.
behind them? And anyone nowadays in 2024 who wants to know what the Menendez brothers story was, they're watching that Netflix series.
Yeah. Right.
And that's how they're going to get familiar with the story. And now the Menendez brothers are, of course, arguing that that series is not a fair
Yeah.
representation.
Which is like it's a scripted series and there's always going to be that debate. But what I like about what Ryan Murphy tends to do is he tries to paint the psyche of of the main characters in all of the stuff that he does. And
Yes.
a lot of times that psychology really tracks, I have to say.
I would be surprised if they had psychologists being consultants for.
Consulting on it.
Yep.
How do I get that fucking job?
Okay, wait, but so here's my question, my last question about this. How much do you think that Mark Jackson card now goes for as memorabilia, knowing now that the Menendez brothers are on it?
Oh, how much would it typically have gone for?
Oh my God, Mark Jackson before 50 bucks.
$50 for his rookie card.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is it now?
So on this memorabilia website where you can like purchase these, it's now going for $1,500.
That's amazing.
And it's because they're now describing it as a rare conversation starting card.
Like you just keep it on your coffee table at your cocktail parties. Look what I have. Let's talk about
It's
double
so
parasite.
that's yep. It's like, oh look, listen to this to the headline. Capturing a moment in NBA history with a chilling backstory.
Yeah, it is a chilling backstory. That's accurate.
I mean,
Hmm.
but imagine being fucking poor Mark Jackson. Like
I
you just want people to
know.
buy your card because you were a dope player, and now they're buying it because of being convicted of first degree murder?
Does he benefit in any way from this inflation of price?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say
Probably
probably
not.
not.
Yeah.
Fuck.